and welcome back to another LEGO Star Wars review. This time I'm here with set 75281, Anakin's Jedi Interceptor. It was released on August 1st, 2020, has 248 pieces, is rated ages 7+, and comes with 2 minifigures. Now the 2 minifigures you will see here are R2-D2, which is an exclusive for this year, and also Anakin Skywalker, which is completely exclusive to this set. Would you believe it? No, I wouldn't either. Because we've seen this figure before. Maybe not altogether like that. It's kind of like, if you've kept up with the Harry Potter news, it's kind of like the Draco Malfoy that they're giving us in the Monster Book of Monsters. They take the Jewel of Mustafar body from 2020 and they stick 2018's Starfighter head onto that. So they've essentially made a new figure for this set by using old pieces. Everybody's disappointed with it. Everybody thinks they should add a little bit more detail into this and the Obi-Wan that was released in the Grievous's Starfighter, but they don't seem to be changing anything. Although R2-D2 is new for 2020, he's only been in another 4 sets this year. Same as this so rare and exclusive Anakin Skywalker that we only get in this set, but we can make up if we have 2 other sets. That's definitely going to bring the review down a little bit, because they just did, like, for the sake of releasing another Interceptor that's not an awful lot different to the last Interceptor, they could have updated the figure. I mean, it's probably not that hard. I don't work there, so I don't know, but it's probably not that difficult, you know? The yellow ETA-2 Actis class Interceptor was Anakin's personal starfighter during the latter part of the Clone Wars, and you can see it in Episode 3. Anakin was a big fan of yellow. As you can see, a trend start even from his pod racing days onto his yellow Delta 7B and concluding with his yellow Interceptor. Then flight a black one as Darth Vader, ending this streak. Made by the manufacturing titans Kuat Drive Yards, many Jedi piloted this ship in the latter years of the Clone Wars. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, Kuat Drive Yards have a lot of different factions and make a ton of the ships we know and love today. I know that they make the ATT Walker. I think they make the Clone Turbo Tank. They make a lot of stuff for, I'm not sure if it's just Episode 2 and 3, but they definitely do a lot for the Clone Wars. But anyway, getting on to the rest of the box, we can see here that, you know, you have your standard kind of minifigure on top, displayed 1-for-1, and a little bit of writing there. Also then you can see that the Starfighter is on the side, same print from the front, so there's nothing a lot different there. You get your typical side and bottom of the box with the Lego Life logo and all of the small print. And now for the back of the box. There's not a lot to talk about on this one, because there's only one box of functionality and it kind of shows the other function. There's literally only 2 functions for this. That is, it opens and it has spring-loading shooters. Now, I'm not going to delve too far into it, because that's pretty much all I can say about it. Otherwise, I can mention that this box in the corner says, play it in LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. So we will see the return of this ship in that video game once it releases early 2021. Now the box does come with thumb tabs, but I think based on the 501st Battle Pack that there are variants of each box, that some come with thumb tabs and some don't come with thumb tabs. But you know, this one does, and it's a European box, but the European or US versions don't actually have a say in which one is which, because I've seen someone open up a box of 501st during a live stream and it had no thumb tabs on it, but the one beside it did, and they were both the US version, which was kind of interesting to see there. Not really sure why they would kind of differentiate like that, but you know, it's kind of just something that they have done and kind of maybe worth a mention. Now let's get on to the overview. So for the overview, we see here that it comes with its 2 minifigures. It comes with its 3 torpedoes, and the minifigure comes with his lightsaber. The cockpit opens, and that is pretty much all the set comes with. And to be honest, pretty much most of the functionality that it has as well. Now, wasting no time, we'll just get straight on to the minifigs, starting with R2-D2. So here we see R2-D2, and not a rare figure by any means, but this is a little bit of an updated print.
just in relation to 2020, not in relation to this wave or this set at all. But it has been in only 4 other sets, which is Poe Dameron's X-Wing, which was, the kind of orange and blue and white one, I think was the color scheme. Also, it comes in Obi-Wan's hut with the little Leia minifig that came out just in time for the Mos Eisley Cantina. It also came out in this set, and the Mos Eisley Cantina itself, it also made another appearance in that set. Now, something that is the kind of the same with all R2-D2 figures these days is the lining of the print is slightly off. It's never bang on, and to be honest, if you find a perfect one, I'm sure it'll be worth more than the typically misprinted ones. Now you can see it's kind of very close to the stud there, the line, and it kind of separates a little bit more from the stud there and there, so it is a little bit wonky. Otherwise, it is a nice figure. I don't think they've updated the body all that much. Maybe they've just kind of made it a little bit more refined, but I don't really think they've changed much of the actual printing details in this minifigure. The chrome head is nice. It's not chrome, but the kind of silvery head is nice. There is a bit of a shine off it, not much, but it is a bit more accurate, of course, to what you see in the films. You can see that the head is printed the whole way around. The body, however, isn't. And we've used the exact same mold since with the first time we've ever seen R2-D2, which I think was in 1999. But yeah, again, not a lot to say now on this minifigure. He has the red eye here, the red light on here, and on the back is red as well, because there is, I know there's 2 or 3 different variations of that color. I think there's a blue one and there could be a purple one. Again, not a lot to say on this minifigure. Nothing we haven't seen before, but it is still a nice update, and of course it is a worthy addition to this set. I don't think we could really put this set on the market without having R2 in it. It just makes too much sense. But yeah, on now to the infamous Anakin minifigure. Anakin Skywalker, you see here, comes with his blue lightsaber, and I am going to say the bad things about it first, and we'll end on a good note. Same with the Starfighter, which is coming up. So the bad things is it's a reused, lazy figure in a lot of people's opinions, especially my own as well. I just think it's really lazy. They brought back a head from 2018, which is the one you see here. I will give you a look while we're here at the back print there, which is a little angrier. Again, this came in 2018, and here's the kicker, it was from the last Interceptor, so they've not really done anything interesting there, and they've kind of brought back a piece from 2018 in a bad way, rather than bringing back pieces that we want to see, and rather than doing a completely new figure. And here's where everybody has real issues. The body is from the 2020 Duel on Mustafar. Now, yes, it's a 2020 figure, but it's completely wrong for this set, as is the Obi-Wan Kenobi from Mustafar being reused entirely for Grievous's Starfighter. Now, this is a problem. Only the best is good enough is LEGO's motto, and this is not the best. Saying that, this figure does come only in one set because of the combination they used, but you could argue that the exclusive figure that came with the Monster Book of Monsters promo set was also in the same vein not an exclusive figure at all, because you can make up that figure from different parts that you've collected over the years. There's nothing exclusive other than the fact that they've pieced those particular parts together. Now that is the bad thing about this figure. The good thing about this figure we'll get on to now. So he comes with his blue lightsaber, which he should, and we'll take that away for now just to show you kind of a little bit more about it. Like, the printing level is nice. The detail that goes into him really shows his burn marks here from Mustafar, and that's great because, it is attention to detail in that sense, and it does look like he was in the middle of a fight or something, so that's kind of, it's done well from that point of view. And you can see there it's fully printed the whole way around the back there. The actual robe itself is an accurate colour, which is nice. The belt is a little bit kind of scuffed up there as well, because obviously that leather would kind of fray in the heat that he is in on Mustafar. But again, the colour scheme is nice, the print and detail is nice. I love how it actually goes down and colours the kind of middle part of his belt piece there, brown. And these little kind of lines coming down onto the legs, then the leg printing is also quite nice. As you can see, this kind of brown belt is just a really nice addition because it makes it look like they've gone to a bit more effort. Now again, it's the wrong figure for the wrong set, but we won't get into that. You can see that he has one black hand because of his metallic hand, and he usually wears a glove over that, which is nice and accurate there as well. The head is nicely printed. That headpiece there, the headgear, is actually really nice. It's a nice kind of gold and it shines rather well there. Looks really well. And his angry face here for whenever he's a little bit in trouble up in space also looks very well done, because it just kind of, it does really portray the emotion that he has in his face. And also again, you can see the headpiece here, which I just really do like. Getting on to the hairpiece now. The hairpiece is nice. I think we've seen this reused since the Clone Wars version of Anakin, and there's no problem there really, because this is kind of the length of his hair during the Clone Wars, and maybe in episode 3 it gets a little bit longer, which is why it's a little bit longer in season 7 of the Clone Wars, which this is based off. So you could also argue that it should be a longer hairpiece for this, but you know, we won't get into that. All in all, not happy with this minifigure because it's the wrong figure, but happy with the fact that it is a nice detail level to it and the printing is good quality, but it's just not the right figure for this set. Getting on to the build now. It is a nice build, but I'm going to start off with the bad points and work our way on to the good points so we can end on a high note. Now, the bad points are really gruelingly obvious here. You can see that this little tile here, we'll get into it, this little tile here with the Republic symbol on it, the sticker, well, for starters, the sticker itself is off-centered. You can see that the black around the symbol is a little bit thicker on one side and thinner on the other. Also, it's a sticker. When they do have this piece printed, they have done it before, and they should have done it. It's just lazy, especially on top of the whole Anakin debacle that they have in with this set as well. Really disappointed to see that. Also, another extremely disappointing part is that, yes, that shine is from a sticker, not a printed tile. This shine right here, yeah, that tile is a sticker. They have plenty of these kind of tiles printed, so I don't understand why they have a sticker for this set. Maybe you could argue for a little bit more accuracy because this is a little bit more specific to this set. But again, I would much prefer have that printed tile there because it's just, again, laziness, I think, on their behalf. And only the best is good enough is kind of resonating in my head the whole time I'm building this set. And I'm just not feeling that, to be honest. The cockpit, I think, leaves a lot to be desired. There is no kind of finishing on the outsides here. Once Anakin sits in, he has to essentially lie down to close this, which I don't think is accurate or nice looking either. It doesn't really look like he's in the heat of battle. It kind of looks like he's going for a wee snooze. R2-D2 is nicely put in here compared to the last sets, but he still does poke out here, and I think that the R2 droid fitting in here as a full piece might be a bad decision anyway. I do appreciate the fact that they've found a way to do that, and I think it's interesting, alright, but I think they kind of hit the nail on the head when they originally just took off the head of the droid and stuck it onto the side of the ship, because it just gives for a smoother kind of transition there. Also, when you're taking out Anakin, you kind of tend to, you know, take that off by accident because it's only on that one tile there, and it does kind of just clip off easy enough, you know. Other bad things, I would just point out that this is not done well. They haven't really improved on it or upgraded it at all, really. It's still wobbly and just not a very strong looking connection. Like, don't get me wrong, it is a strong connection in the sense that it probably won't break off, but it just kind of looks a bit clunky and not great. Also, it again wobbles, and I don't really like that either. Also, they haven't updated this from the first set. This is the exact same way they used to do it, with these two clips clipped onto each other and then stuck onto the side here to hold these, which are on poles. Exactly the same technique they've used since the start. And to be honest, I think that's all the bad points I have about it. Now, you might not think that's a lot of bad points, but it's a lot more bad points than I've had over any other set as of late, or to be honest, I think ever. I think it was very hard to enjoy building this knowing all that. But if none of those things bother you and you don't have an Anakin Starfighter already, it's a nice set for you. But otherwise, if you have one, especially if you have the last one released, leave it to that. Don't bother getting this one. And if you don't like stickers, and if you like them actually going an extra mile, if you like UCS sets a lot more over these kind of play sets, don't get this. You won't like it. But yeah, I think that's all the bad things I have to say about it. Now let's get on to the good points and bring the review back to a nicer place. So the good points, I think, is the fact it comes with an extra torpedo, which is, great, but again, to be expected. The good points also is the shape and design of it does look well. Another bad point is that these kind of bits just fell off on me there, so a bit of roughhousing with it and you will be losing small pieces like that. But skipping past that, the design is a very nice design, and they've gotten it very accurate in the sense that this is the way his starfighter kind of sits. It seems sturdy, to be honest, for the most part. Some little pieces, as I just mentioned here, these pieces do kind of fall off with a little bit of roughhousing. This looks nice when it's all closed off. Also, once you open these out, it does kind of look nice in the sense that it looks a bit accurate and it looks like the ship should, which is nice to see there. The build itself wasn't difficult and did not take long, which is, I suppose, a good point for some people if they just don't have a lot of time and they kind of want something quick and easy. Another good point is these look really nice, I think, the engines on the back and also the translucent pieces here. Of course, if you know me at all, you will know that I love those translucent pieces, but even at that, I do like the engines full stop. And another good point then would be these have been upgraded, these turret guns here. They look an awful lot more, well, maybe not accurate, but they do look an awful lot nicer. They kind of smooth out a little better, and the last couple didn't really. They kind of stuck out like a sore thumb sometimes. Another good point is they've added this here, even though R2 doesn't fit in there, they've just kind of evened it out for symmetry, and it does make it look nicer, although if you took both of them off, it would look a little bit more accurate. And another really good point I think in this one is there is clips underneath these two wings here, as you can see here and here. One of them is for the spare torpedo and the other one is for Anakin's lightsaber, so that it doesn't get lost, which is a great little feature, and one I definitely could have used back in the day when I was playing with the first model of this ship. As you can see here, it's holding the lightsaber and the torpedo and the two spring-loaded shooters. All kind of goes together nicely. We'll give you a look at the shooters now. You push down here on the back, and again they go very far because of the spring mechanism that they use, which is, good to see, great for playability. I'll give you a look now at everybody kind of sitting into the ship. R2 fits in there well, nice and easy, and Anakin fits in there like so. But again, as I said, you can see there for yourself, he's lying down and it just kind of looks like he's relaxing. Unless he's using his feet to control, I really don't understand how he's going to fly that thing. And if you want to sit him up, it doesn't close properly, Also, if you do want to sit him up, it just looks a bit strange there. So we have to lie him down and close it up there. And to be honest, from here, it looks okay. Kind of looks alright, but it's just the cockpit, I think, again, leaves a lot to be desired. But taking him out doesn't really seem to be much of a problem otherwise, even though he is on 4 studs there instead of 2, as you can see. But yeah, R2 comes out as typically as he would, easy enough. And it kind of the mechanisms do work very well. which is good to see. And I will say, as a play set, it's a good play set. If you want to get it for your son or daughter, go ahead, because it is a nice play set. If they want it, go for it. But if, as I said, you want to display it, also it's nice if you don't have the last edition of this. If you do have the last edition, there's really not that much point in getting this one, unless you want to, get this one and sell off the last one, something like that. That's, whatever you want to do with that information. But again, I wouldn't be rushing to the shops to get it. I only got this because I do like the Starfighter, and I wanted to review it because I want to review as much of the current wave as possible. And yeah, I don't know if I'm really happy that I got it or not, to be honest. But yeah, in the end, I'm not really sure what to think about this set. Like, because I have all of the Interceptors, it's a bit of a disappointment. But if I didn't have any, it wouldn't be that much of a disappointment. Also, the corners they seem to cut with this set quite a lot do kind of show, and it's hard to ignore them, if you are watching out for good and bad points. It's a difficult enough to rate set. But in saying that, it's not a bad set. Like, it's not awful. The design is very nice. It looks accurate enough, maybe bar the cockpit. From the outside, though, it is a nice little display piece if you want to make a kind of scene or something out of it. And it's definitely an improvement from the last couple of Starfighters. But again, I don't really think I have a lot more to say on it. So my conclusion is, it has its good parts and it has its bad parts. I think Lengo have cut a lot of corners here, but it still is a very nice design. I think for anybody who doesn't have one, or anybody who wants to play with it, definitely go ahead and buy this set. It's nice, unless of course you're a little bit kind of picky about your minifigs. But even then, if you want to play with it, it is nice to have a kind of beat up Anakin for those kind of scenes you want to create. But for a collector's point of view, again, not a lot of difference in my opinion on it. I think it's a nice design for display. But again, if you have the last one released, you don't really need much of an upgrade on that. It's pretty much the same. Of course, if you want the newer R2-D2, you can get it here. Or you can get it in about 3 other sets if you'd like to get them instead. But otherwise, there's not an awful lot I can say good or bad about it. It's kind of right in the middle worth of a set, because it's a good upgrade, but again, they have cut corners quite a bit. Thanks a million for watching my video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below if you think there's anything that needs to be said. Thanks a million, guys. See you again. Take care.